Gene, you're muted, man.
You're muted, bro.
I'm back, everybody. I think it's muted me so he could just like steal the spotlight. I'm back from vacation. I'm the NFL Genius Gene Walzek. In the upper left corner, we got Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, College Cutro.
Well, Gene, as much as I would have loved to take credit for that, I even tried to unmute you there, but it didn't let me. It said you muted yourself there. And I was like, this is the first time I've ever seen Gene mute himself for any reason. But we're definitely glad to have you back because this is an important one, man. I feel like tonight's show is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's gonna be a great time. And honestly, guys, I just take it as nice as you can take it. I'm going to absolutely blow up people's drafts. So yeah, heads up. Like the guy that's picked in the 6th round, Drew Hours going 13th. I'm kidding. In the upper right corner, Scholastic Shally, Uncle Shally, Mr. William Shallcross. What up, Bill?
Oh, man. There goes Cottrell. Oh, he's back.
It's you.
It's definitely you, bud.
Gene's muted again.
Oh man,
this show is off to a flying fucking start.
Yeah, he's on his own. He's in his own world right now. I don't know what's.
Yeah, I don't know what Shally's talking about, but Shally, hello. You can say hi.
Hello.
It's definitely him.
Ready for my draft to get blown up.
That's gonna get blown up.
Not me.
All right. Well, let's get in the hot wire early. Let's not take any time here. I'm sharing us out to a million different people. Do me a favor, if you're in the chat right now, put a W, like say something, say hi, what up, Saigon? We're doing a whole mock draft tonight. I need you to share us out. Like, say some shit. Put W's in the chat. Let's go nuts.
Absolutely. Well, first things first here. We'll go ahead and get right on in the hot wire. And this week we got, 3 topics that are kind of lighter, but I feel like this is 2 of the 3 of these are very important topics of what we're talking about, with the rest of the show there. And first thing being is that Dexter Lawrence has found himself a new home. The Cincinnati Bengals and New York Giants have agreed to, trade Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals there. And now the Giants will hold 2 picks within the top 10. They're getting Cincinnati's first round pick at pick 10. And the Bengals are bringing in Sexy Dexy, and they already signed him to another. They added another year to his current deal, so he is going to be locked down in Cincinnati for the next 3 years. Gentlemen, ultimately, with both sides here and kind of knowing what the outlook looks like for the draft tomorrow night as well, is this a good deal for both teams? Do you think there's a clear winner on one side? Like, what kind of outlook do you have with this trade?
There's an absolute clear winner in this trade. Shai, I'd like to hear your opinion first, but there's absolutely a clear winner in this trade.
I mean, I think it's a player that Cincinnati would like to have. I don't know if they had to have him. Giving up a 1, I think, is a lot for me. I think where New York's defense already is, they lose a really good player, but I think they're still really good. Beyond that, getting a top 10 pick out of it for this year's draft to fill another need that they're going to have. I would go with the Giants winning.
I mean, the Giants clearly won this trade. So I'll put it this way, right? The 10th overall pick, but the Cincinnati Bengals can draft a defensive player and not pay him a ton of money. Just for instance, right? That could be Caleb Downs for 5 years for less money than what you're going to pay a interior defensive lineman for 3. That is a crazy trade to make if you're the Bengals. The Bengals prove to you every single day why they're a terrible organization and why I don't know how they got blessed with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But other than that, they're an awful organization that figures out ways to screw things up. And you trading a top 10 pick for a defensive tackle to pay him what you're going to pay him. You paid a first-round pick for the right to overpay a defensive tackle. No doubt in my mind, it's a terrible move.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think as a whole, I think I look at it 2 ways, right? I do think there is a very strong possibility that Caleb Downs is not available at right? I know that was just for your example there, but I'm just saying, like, I think there's a strong possibility that he's not there. And I also think there is a strong possibility that if, like, there's a strong possibility the board falls the very wrong way and the Bengals end up in a spot where they're either reaching for a guy or drafting a position of not a strong need to just, make the pick valuable in a sense there because it's a top 10 pick. You want to get as much talent as possible there. So, like, I do think, like, when you look at the interior of the defensive line and, like, you look at this class here, it's not as strong as years past. Like, you're looking at guys like, Peter Woods or Caden McDonald. Like, are you using the 10th pick on one of those guys? I don't think so. Now, of course, if Caleb Downs falls there, you're happy, you're over the moon, things like that. And there's other talent there. I just think with a lot of people ahead of them, they have very similar positions of need there. So I feel like this was more of a safe move for Cincinnati. They want the more known commodity, and they don't really have to go into draft night wondering, like, are things going to fall our way to ultimately get our guy? Now, the part that I 100% agree with you on, though, is the fact that the 10th overall pick is still valuable. Right before this trade happened, the reports were that the Browns had the highest offer for Dexter Lawrence, and that was a second-round pick. And then literally 4 or 5 hours later, you get the news that it's a top 10 pick going to the Giants there. So, I mean, I think that part of it is crazy. And I think the other crazy part is that you already had Trey Hendrickson in the building, and he's an elite guy on the defensive line. Obviously, I know interior and edge are two different positions there, but you're paying Dexter Lawrence, $70 million over the course of 3 years, and Trey's got a 4-year deal with a little over $100 million there. So, like, in reality, you had a very similar kind of deal there, and you could have kept your 10th overall pick. So that just shows you that the Bengals are such a horribly ran organization there, and I agree with you. I wouldn't have spent the money on an interior D lineman.
So, all right, I hear what you're saying, and this is where I want to argue back with you. So, if you're the Bengals and you're in their situation, would you rather? So, think about it real quick. Do you think Mansoon Delane will be there at 10?
I don't personally know.
Okay, then how about Reuben Bain?
I don't know.
Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs.
I don't think any of those four are
David Bailey, Arvell Reese. They all can't go, bro. One of those guys is going to be there at 10. They all can't go.
You just said 6 guys who I think are going to be in the top 10. You add Mendoza in there. You add in Love.
Jeremiah Love will be in that part 2. Carnell Tate will be in the top 10. Jordan Tyson will be in the top 10. Just add
Not
6.
for sure. Not with Tyson. I mean, medical concerns. Like, I don't know for sure that he's a bona fide top 10 guy.
I just think that in that situation, you're going to get one of those big players, and you can have Reuben Bain Jr., or you can have Delane, or you can have, like, Caleb Downs, and you chose to give that up to overpay Dexter Lawrence when you had Trey Hendrickson in the building. Like, it's crazy to me.
That's the part that's crazy to me, too. I just think, though, too, like, and again, I don't want to give the Bengals any credit because I don't think this is what they're doing. But on the flip side of it, I love what the Rams' personality has been, the last few years. It's F those picks. It's let's go get the known commodities. Let's go get the guys that we know and are going to help us win now. So I don't think that's necessarily what the Bengals are doing here, but like the Rams trading for Trent McDuffie, for example. Like I think that's Trent McDuffie's going to be better, at least right now in your win now window than anybody in the upcoming draft, at least, for these next 2 years or 2-3 years. So like, again, I don't want to give the Bengals too much credit there, but if this was the position of importance or what they wanted to lock in on, I do think it makes sense for them to go this route because I don't think it's a strong interior D-line class.
But you talk about the Rams mentality of F them picks, but the Bengals do not have a history of taking players in the 3rd round or 4th round that hit like Kobe Turner. Like they don't have a history of grabbing a Jared Verse at the end of the 1st round and a Brandon Fisk in the 2nd round. They don't have that history of being able to grab guys later in the draft. The Bengals just don't do that. So the top 10 picks, they hit, bro. And when you have a top 10 pick, they're almost a fail-safe. Very infrequently do you draft a defensive player or an offensive lineman in the top 10 and they just fail. Now, you see failures. They're normally running backs or tight ends or whatever you want to, or wide receiver you want to throw in there. They're not defensive linemen. They're not cornerbacks. They just don't fail. They don't fail. But I get it. Just hate the trade.
Bill, you got anything to add?
No, I mean, I think Gene has a good point of, I think you get a quality player at 10 no matter what, especially in this draft. I guess the only really risk is if it ends up being a wide receiver, something they really don't, have to have per se. And then it becomes, do you draft that player? Do you trade out? Or then you overdrafting somebody there that you shouldn't. And again, like you guys have both mentioned already, you're talking about an organization that doesn't make the best decisions. So them having, if the board does fall weird tomorrow night, which it could, you're then, asking them to make a decision under the gun. I don't know if that goes well. So you would think they have plan A, B, C, D, and E. They probably don't. So they made this decision. Again, I mean, they're getting a really good player. I mean, but just, to Gene's point, they're overpaying them. And I feel like it's not. I just think the minuses far outweigh the pluses of trading away the 10th pick.
What's Dexter Lawrence? 28? I'm just taking a guess. Let's see how old Dexter Lawrence is. I think I really believe he's like 28. I was dead right. I think that's a crazy trade. He turns 29 this month. So it's not like he's a spring chicken. You're not getting him for 5 years like you're getting the 10th overall pick.
No, I mean, you're hoping you're getting 3 good years out of him before he falls off the cliff.
And there's a reason D tackles don't normally go in the top 10. They're just not a position of value. And I know Dexter Lawrence is one of the best in the whole league, and I understand he can play like the outside in a 3-4 technique. Like he could play that D end like in a 3-4, but it's just not a position of value. Who was the last D tackle going in the top 10? Was Jalen Carter 10? Like I don't know any other ones that went ahead of that. And Jalen Carter, generational. I think Jalen Carter was just a generational talent. It doesn't happen every day. But let's move.
All right, next topic here. Now, I'm sure we'll get back into that once we hit the mock draft there. But Gene, this is your time to shine here. We had WrestleMania this past weekend. Me and Bill touched on it a little bit last week. With what we kind of thought was going to happen in it. But you had the luxury of being there, front and center and seeing everything firsthand there. So would love to get your thoughts on night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania there.
Would you like the good or the bad? Which one would you like first?
I would like the bad first. Let's go ahead.
All right, let's start with the bad. Night 1 was an absolute disaster. And if night 2 wasn't as good as it was, Triple H would have been fired. I truly believe he would not have made it through. It was night 2 was the biggest night in the history of the WWE in the last 10 years. Like it was the biggest night for them because night 1 was a disaster. Night 1 was a travesty. They had 7 matches with an hour and 28 minutes worth of actual action in a 4-hour event. TKO is absolutely scumbagged. Commercials, ads all over the place. And what the WWE is doing as a whole is laughable. They can't say no to certain people, so they create matches for WrestleMania that don't make sense, and they just, we have to have a WrestleMania match for so and so. This person has to have a WrestleMania match. No, they don't. We don't have to ruin WrestleMania. If you gave me 5 matches like Seth Rollins Gunther was, which by the way was the only good match on night 1, period. Night 1 was atrocious. And if it wasn't for that Rollins Gunther match, I mean, the Rhodes Orton match was pathetic. And the way it ended was pathetic. I just don't. There's so many things that need to be answered. It was a really bad night for the WWE. Now, with that being said, if I had night 1 tickets and I didn't have night 2 tickets, I'd be asking for a refund because night 2 was everything that it needed to be. So you started off with Obafemi being put over, which he should have, because that is one of the WWE's biggest superstars coming up right now, and Brock retiring, which I don't think he'll retire. I think he'll have a retirement match at SummerSlam versus Gunther. Just my personal opinion. I think a lot of this is a little bit of a setup for that, but that's my opinion. Then you have the best match of the entire weekend in that ladder match. That ladder match was incredible with Penta, Javon Evans. Like, guys just went all over the place. Balls to the wall. Great match. Third, for every bit of slack that this woman gets, and look, I say this about Seth Rollins all the time. Rhea Ripley can put on a good match with a rubber hose. People need to give Jade Cargill credit. She had an incredible performance, even in defeat. That Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley match was very good. And then to end it all off, Roman Punk was perfect. It was perfect in every sense of the word. From the entrances, from them having like Punk's Ring of Honor days and the jacket, from the low blow from Punk to like through the table. You got two 40-year-old athletes just going balls to the wall. It was perfect. And they followed up a perfect WrestleMania Night 2 main event with a perfect Raw. They saved themselves so many issues by having a great Night 2. But Night 1 was a train wreck. And if I had Night 1 tickets and Night 1 tickets only, I'd be asking for a refund.
So, Bill, I know you got a lot to say on the topic here. I just wanted to throw in just a couple things here real quick. So, I 100% agree with you. Night 1 was definitely awful, and I was thinking that it was kind of depending on how Night 2 went. Like, it was on the verge of being one of the worst WrestleManias in the history of the company, and so I do think it was cool, like how it started off. Like Oba and Brock really did set the tone for Night 2 there, and I personally don't think that the Brock retirement was something that was expected. Like it seemed like, and granted, I'll give Paul Heyman a ton of credit. He is always, looking as if he doesn't know what's about to happen next. But I truly think, like he didn't know what was happening. Brock throwing up the X there, like I truly think that was like something that was kind of spur of the moment. Like maybe it had been like flirted with, the idea had been flirted with, but I think that was kind of just something that he did in the moment there. I'm with you though. I do think he comes back at SummerSlam. It just makes too much sense. They're going to be in his hometown in Minneapolis. You have the potential setup with Gunther. Like I just think it makes too much sense for him to not come back.
Well, now, before you get off the topic, I just want to add that that's a perfect point. They turned him face by the way they did it. I think throwing up the X thing was a great, but them turning him face allows a heel Gunther. Like they gave him that standing ovation. I get what you're saying, bro, but it's set up perfectly.
For sure.
Even the face in that match anyway, though.
What?
Even the face in that match anyway.
He was not the face in that match.
If you put Brock versus Gunther right now, Brock is absolutely the face in that match.
I thought you were talking about versus Oba. No. Brock has been the heel for a year and a half. So he was the face. You're talking about the guy that beat the shit out of John Cena on his retirement tour and came out and beat his ass. That's a heel, bro.
I get it, bro. He's also like an anti-heel at the same time. He gets huge pops. He's like an Austin heel. He's not a bad guy.
And then the other thing, like with Night 2 definitely saved the whole show there. But I was talking to Bill about this as well. That I was more so upset. All the matches were great for sure. I was more so upset with outside of the Roman angle. I feel like I just felt like I was left still with so many questions. Like I feel like I didn't get enough long-term storytelling like with a WrestleMania event. And that's still my biggest issue with the weekend in itself there. So like, yes, like it's cool that Braun is back. Like I'll give, that, and again, that was Night 1. So like that'll be cool. We all knew that at some point we were going to get Seth and Braun whenever Braun was back healthy. So we really knew that moving forward there. But from the night 2 side, like I don't know. The bloodline feels like that story is going to be coming back, and that's going to be great because we know how great the bloodline was for the 3-4 years that we had it consecutively there. But like outside of that, though, I don't really know what's coming next. Like they kind of hinted at maybe a Liv Rhea feud there moving forward there because the whole topic from Monday night. But like I just don't know what's happening next year, or I don't even have like my theories of what's about to happen next year. So like that's my biggest disappointment from the weekend.
I don't agree with you, and no shade sent your way, but like let me ask you a question: what do you not know the direction on? And I'll clue you in. I'll help you.
What happens next with Oba?
Oba Femi is going to march his way towards a WWE match versus Roman Reigns. It was already written, and he's basically going to have to build himself up the ladder. He's going to win King of the Ring and get himself a title shot. That's what's going to happen with Oba. Oba went in his post-interview, called out the tribal chief.
I saw that.
The tribal chief went in this post-interview, talked about Oba Femi. So there you go.
And then Monday night we got 2 in the ring.
Well, that's because you're not going to waste Roman versus Oba Femi at Backlash. Jacob Fatu is long-term storytelling for him being the Solo Sikoa of the bloodline. Roman's going to beat him, and Jacob's going to join that bloodline. What else would you like to know, Cottrell? I mean, you want to know direction? La Primera gets her rematch versus Liv Morgan at Backlash. That's what that's about. Like I could tell you everything in night 2 and what direction that they're going.
I mean, long term is not necessarily Backlash. Backlash is usually pretty easy to pick out. It's whatever matches you want to run back for Mania, and then a couple other. I mean, Backlash is never some staple pay-per-view.
Correct.
It fills a void in the calendar for them.
And don't get me started on the Rhodes and Orton.
That's a joke.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Yeah, that's a joke.
So Gene touched on one of the big things for me. TKO is now visibly having their hands in things, which is a problem. They paid a small fortune to acquire WWE. They are trying to, make their money back as fast as humanly possible. To be paying for ESPN Premium and watching 4-minute commercials every other minute. Like Gene mentioned, you had an hour and a half worth of action on night 1. You barely had 2 hours on night 2. And that's because Roman and Punk went 35 minutes.
And the ladder match.
and the ladder match. But you're looking at Liv Morgan and Gore going 9 minutes in a championship match. Becky and AJ went 7. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Brock went 5.
I mean, that match was never going long. Like, that's,
You're right. I'm just saying. Short matches, we're throwing them out there.
It was, but that's always 2 big guys, beating on each other quick, and that's a heavyweight fight. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse next year because they're going to take that $100 million from the Saudis, and WrestleMania next year is going to be on during breakfast time. You're going to wake up Saturday morning and eat your waffles and eat WrestleMania and watch WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. And then I'll tell you this. The one thing Vince McMahon said, and he held true forever, he said WrestleMania will never be outside the U.S. There's a chance it's going to happen 2 years in a row, so get used to it. There's a chance it's going to be in England the following year. They got greedy and had it Vegas 2 years in a row. They lost money. Their attendance sucked. Bit down big time from last year. Not even close to what they set in Philly 2 years ago.
Yep.
This is corporate. This is heavy, big time corporate WWE. This is what you're going to get going forward. Until they get closer to what they feel they're getting their money back, or on a fast enough basis anyway. In regards to Saturday, Saturday was terrible. I mean, I agree with Gene and Cottrell. And if Sunday didn't save the day, you are undoubtedly looking at one of the worst 2 or 3 WrestleManias ever. Them changing the outcome of Cody Randy Orton Saturday morning is unforgivable to me. You literally, you want to talk about long-term storytelling. There it was. It was set up for you that Randy would have went over. Randy went over like a scumbag, did all his scumbag things. That's why he's such a great heel. And then Cody would have to go down the road and fought being a really, really, really good guy and figured out what it's going to take for me to beat Randy and get his belt back. Nope, switched it. Leave it on Cody. And then you have the stupid finish where he gets punted, and now everybody's like, well, we're just going to run it back at SummerSlam. For what? Who cares now? You missed the opportunity. You missed the opportunity to make that interesting. If Randy wins the belt and you run it back at SummerSlam, then you give me 4 more months of build of watching Cody turn edgier, not turn heel, but turn edgier and change his character a little bit. And then you put Cody back over if you want to. Then it makes sense. And it's great. And it would be great. It would be a great match. It'd be great cinema. You botched it. You put Pat McAfee in the goddamn thing twice for no reason. Stupid.
And by the way, the part you said about Pat McAfee, and first of all, the match was terrible. Like Rhodes and Orton as a whole did a terrible job putting on a wrestling match. But second, you don't have Randy Orton RKO Pat McAfee and then punt Cody Rhodes. So what? Make up your mind what you're doing with him.
Correct. I agree. Horrible. Like you couldn't have ended the night any worse. To get to Sunday, Obi Brock was great. There's a lot of stuff out there with Brock that is not that none of that was planned. He apparently does not want to be retired by Gunther. And he caught wind of it, and that's why he kind of went off script. The reports that are coming out when he went back to Gorilla, he walked right through it, went back to his trailer, got changed, and left. He's apparently really pissed off. So if that's true, we don't know. I think obviously he was always going to lose to Obi, but I don't think the end of it. I don't think WWE saw any of that coming, and that's why I think you saw the X to tell Paul like he's going out his way type thing. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I think Jade was better. I don't think she was great. There were still a couple spots she was
incredible,
but I thought she was a lot better. I agree with Gene. Rhea will make a parking cone look like Shawn Michaels. What match am I missing? A lot of match was incredible. I'm shocked some of those guys agreed to do some of those spots.
The Demon versus
listen, I'm the biggest Finn guy in the world. To waste the Demon on that and that the storytelling on that match sucked. That could have been a lot different if they would have changed things 2 months ago, but that's going to prolong
have him fight JD McDonough on Monday Night Raw, which should have been the bigger match because JD really turned his back on him, not like Dom. Like I'm sorry, I get your, but the crazy part is them having a match on Monday night. Like so,
the crazy part,
the other guy.
Like, the crazy part in general is having him like announcing that he was going to be the Demon, and you knew essentially that he wasn't going to lose going in. Like it would have been cool to have that be the surprise, and just comes out of nowhere. Like I don't know.
I'm assuming they're going to run that back in some fashion in Backlash. That'll be one of the filler matches. Maybe it's a triple threat match. They're going to push Finn. I just don't know where they're going to push him to right now. He's not beating Roman. So I don't know, but he's not going to lose the Backlash. But
the women's tag team match on Saturday was also one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Just to be clear.
It wasn't good. No real direction coming out of that other than it looks
Nikki
like
gets hurt. But
what?
I said Nikki Bella gets hurt, and they still throw the belt on the Bella / return of what's her name?
Paige.
Like that's so dumb. Danhausen's hilarious. I love me some Danhausen.
The Danhausen spot was great, and I give him credit. If you've read anything afterwards, that little cloud explosion thing went off at the wrong time. It wasn't supposed to happen. So for him to kind of sell it and make it look goofy and funny and go into the ring like he was disappearing was great. Cena was great. I mean, Miz for his part was awesome in it too. So I thought that stuff was all fun. And then Roman Punk was, again, that to Gene's point, that was worth every penny of admission. Great match, great storytelling. I think the call to switch the belt was the right one. And I think the journey they go on. I think the bloodline will be different this time. I don't think it's going to be a lot of what we saw before. I think it'll have a different feel. But yeah, I mean, it's he's gonna face. He said it in his post match interview on the post show as well. He was going to be around all summer. He said he would see if Obi got through the summer and how he did, and then we'll talk. So I mean, they definitely set that up for further down the road later in the year. That's not going to be at SummerSlam. And then Jonathan's probably going to lose. Have it be clean or dirty or whatever it is, and then he's going to have to fall in line, and that'll be a kind of a subplot to how that all goes. So, overall, as great as Roman and Punk were, I don't think you can give it much more than a C. Combining both nights.
Well, if you combine both nights, and night one was an F-, like you couldn't have got worse. Like I don't know how you can give it more than a C because. Bro, I'm not kidding when I tell you this. Night one could not have been worse. Like, I don't know how it could be worse. Could be the single worst night in WrestleMania history.
I mean, it's definitely the worst night since they've gone to 2 nights. And that's not close.
And the funny thing is, the 2 worst nights since they went to 2 nights have both involved Cody Rhodes and the fact that them trying to with John Cena. With Travis Scott and then Pat McAfee with Randy Orton. Just they ran back the same tired storyline that stunk. We're going to save wrestling. Same storyline. Twice. Terrible both times. Same outside celebrity twice. Terrible both times.
Scared to death, man. I don't get it.
What?
Cody will be fine without a belt.
Yeah. He also doesn't need to be a face.
No.
Homelander Cody's a real thing. We got to move on, though.
Agreed.
All right. So, last topic here before we get into the NBA playoffs. I feel like this is a good spot to just kind of throw this in here. We got a lot of coaching news and a lot of coaching rumors in the association right now. So, we've had Doc Rivers has officially announced that he will be retiring from the game. So that's an opening with the Bucks there. Billy Donovan has decided to resign from being the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. It has been widely reported that Steve Kerr has decided that he will not be coaching the Golden State Warriors next year or anytime in the future. And those were the 3 big ones that I really wanted to hit on here. Your thoughts on just some of these coaching jobs that are going to be open there, or and then ultimately, what is that domino effect moving forward there?
Yeah, Bill.
I mean, I think Chicago, I think Billy, I mean, that team is just in for a major overhaul. I mean, they don't really have a real identity right now, and I just don't think he wants to hang around and go through it. That might have been a mutual parting of ways type thing, and they just let him say that he resigned for being there so long. Doc Rivers, I mean, who's surprised? He just continues to run teams into the ground. It will be interesting to see who Milwaukee hires, though, because the Giannis thing is officially an absolute, walking on cracked eggshells mode here. So, I think whoever wants that job is probably going to want to guarantee that he's going to be there, because if not, that job is not desirable whatsoever. And if they're not going to get that guarantee, I don't know if they can get a big name. Steve Kerr, to me, is kind of the one that, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I mean, the writing's on the wall there. I mean, Steph's not getting younger. He can't stay healthy. Draymond's not getting younger. I think they had their run. He had they won 3. I mean, it's
4.
he had a great run. He's had health issues that he's dealt with the last 4 or 5 years as well. It's probably time to walk away and either finally retire. I could easily see him being an analyst, studio type guy. Easier schedule, less wear and tear. And I don't know what Golden State's going to do. We've talked about that earlier in the year. I think there's a chance Steph gets traded, have one more year at a contender, because Golden State's not going to be it, especially with the state of the West, with as young as some of it. OKC and San Antonio are just not going anywhere. Golden State is not going to compete with them. Maybe if they can lure LeBron in, but you're relying on two guys with umpteenth, bad knees and ankles and everything else. I don't think the answer is in Golden State for Steph or Kerr. So I think he's going to bow gracefully, and again, I think it'll be a desirable job, but I think that whole group has kind of come to its at the end of its run.
I want to answer this real quick, and then I'll get into the Bulls thing. Which team is the better job? Bulls, Bucks, Pelicans? In my opinion, I feel like the Pelicans is set up a little bit better since Giannis will probably be going. Giannis will probably go into another team. I'm assuming that's what it means. The problem with the Pelicans they're a terrible organization, and terrible organizations don't normally get better. Look at the Wizards; they're just bad organizations. I think the Bulls is the most desirable job because of the young pieces that they have and the flexibility. Just my opinion. But let me read you how bad Billy Donovan is. I hate this mutual parting of ways bullshit. Okay? Billy Donovan took over the Oklahoma City Thunder when they were perennial favorites going to the playoffs, right? He was 55-27 in his first season, 47-35, 48-34, 49-33, 44-28. So they lost 11 wins in his 5-year tenure at Oklahoma City. Okay, well, all right, let's talk about the Bulls. 46-36, 40-42, 39-43, 39-43, 31-51. Billy Donovan sucks. Go back to coaching college. He's not a good coach. He's never been a good coach. Every team he's coached, both teams he's coached in the NBA, as they went further, they've become more and more of a laughingstock. Billy Donovan sucks. It's not a mutual parting of ways. He's a bad NBA head coach. Go back to coaching Florida. Go back to college. My opinion. Yeah, Control, you want to say something.
So I'm not going to pound the table for Billy Donovan by any means.
Sounds like you're about to.
But at the same time, I do think it's important that we put into context what happened in Oklahoma City, right? You're talking about a team that they were, great, and they were right on the cusp of a championship and things like that. He didn't get to go out there and have Kevin Durant. He didn't have James Harden out there. Both those guys are gone by the time that he walked through those doors there. And then you go to Chicago, and it's the Bulls were the very solid team before Billy got there, when they still had Derrick Rose, when they had Luol Deng, when Joakim Noah was good. But again, all those guys weren't in Chicago. The best roster that Billy Donovan has coached in Chicago has been led by DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. And again, that's not to say that they should have been a 40-win team there. I do think that's enough talent to get you more wins than just that. But at the same time, I don't think he's just been underperforming with great rosters either, though.
I think he's been underperforming, and the teams have gotten worse. Let me ask you a question, though, Control. Let's just take for the fuck of it. What player has developed under Billy Donovan and become a better player under Billy Donovan?
Kobe White.
Are we? That's your fucking staple, Kobe White.
You asked.
You can't even give me a top 50 player in the NBA.
He hasn't had one. That's the problem.
He hasn't had one.
He had what? MVP.
Reiterate that.
Who was he at?
Durant. Yeah,
Durant. That was Scott Brooks.
he had Durant the last year, 2015. That's the year they went 55 and 27.
I thought that was Russ's MVP
No.
year.
Then he had Paul George, who got worse. 2015 was the year before he went to that's the year he took over.
I thought he got to the Thunder the year after they were in the.
Check Durant. 2015, 2016 was his first year in Oklahoma City. Check Durant.
So that was so he had Durant for 1 year,
and Durant left him. Didn't like him.
That that's you and I both know it wasn't about Billy Donovan.
You're right. I'm just saying. Russ obviously got worse under him.
Russ won MVP.
Serge Ibaka got worse under him.
Russ won MVP after KD left. So I can't say
there was nobody there.
You can't say he got worse though.
He did get worse. And then you go to Chicago. Chris Paul didn't get better under him. He didn't develop Chris Paul. Let's slow down.
Yeah, that's
bro.
wild.
What?
I said that's wild.
My point being is Billy Donovan hasn't developed anyone really. Kobe White's got better, sure. But he stinks. All right. Let me move on to Mr. Doc Rivers. Who's Milwaukee's GM?
Isn't it what's the name? Griffin?
John Horst. I think it was. They named him the GM in 2019. He was executive of the year.
Oh, Griffin.
After they won the NBA Finals, he's done the absolute worst job of running an organization that he could possibly do. You fired Coach Bud to bring it was Adrian Griffin, right?
Yep.
They're like 28 and 12. And they just fire Adrian Griffin and they bring in Doc Rivers and they completely collapse. And what do you expect from Doc? Doc had the most loaded big three in the middle of their prime and won an NBA Finals and has been riding his entire career off of that. I want to ask you a question. Can you give me one series? I'm not even asking one team. One series where Doc Rivers did not have the better team and won.
Nope.
Stinks. All I'm saying. So, Steve Kerr to Chicago might not be a bad move.
I don't know why you'd leave Golden State though for that, but
Golden State's falling apart, bro. They're done. Rebuild.
Yeah, man, but but what he's going to go do in Chicago too.
I think if Steve Kerr wants to stay in the basketball realm, at this point he should go the Brad Stevens route. He'll be the president of a team and make all the moves and stuff behind the scenes. Or let's not forget, before he was coaching with the Warriors there, he was an analyst as well. So it's not like he would be out of his place or out of his comfort zone going back to the booth there. So I think those are two options. I don't really see I don't think there's a job opening right now that would even make sense for Kerr, because if you're leaving the Warriors and leaving Steph and Draymond, it would have to be to a team that would give you a legit shot to win pretty quickly, in my opinion.
I don't think he coaches. I think he either goes in the booth. I think there's a chance he just retires and just enjoys his money and goes home, or if you got like a VP or a president, something like that of a club where he doesn't have to travel all the time, and like you said, he's just making roster decisions, stuff like that. I could see him doing that as well.
I think Taylor Jenkins was a good coach. I think he was given a very bad situation.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, your best player just starts pulling guns on 13-year-olds. That's not really the best situation.
I almost kind of wonder too, I know this kind of off topic here, but I almost wonder, would Mike Malone trade his job with North Carolina for one of these jobs?
No. You don't take the job at North Carolina and then go, oh, you know what? I'd rather coach.
No. I'm not saying that he would actually leave where he's at right now. I'm saying if they were on the table at the same, if Golden State had their head coaching offer on the table at the same time as North Carolina, would he have gone a different direction?
There's
That's the way
11
things are now.
There's 11 NBA franchises that are worth coaching more than North Carolina. And Golden State right now isn't one of them. North Carolina is a premier job.
It is.
Ask Nick Saban how leaving college football to coach the Miami Dolphins work out. I'm just saying.
Opposite way, but yeah.
It is going the opposite way. My point being is, with Michael Malone taking a job at North Carolina, which is a premier, he could be the Nick Saban of college basketball.
Oh, without a doubt, though.
I'm just saying, not good of a coach.
A guy like Mike Malone, though, who's been at the top of the mountain and has seen what the precipices look like there. Like I would look at Denver, and I don't think. I mean, right now, of course, you got Joker, and that kind of leads us right into the playoffs here. But you got Joker and Denver, which obviously makes them, in that category. But like before the Mike Malone era, Denver wasn't one of those jobs that falls into that 11 teams that you mentioned there either, though, Gene. And I we saw him go win a championship there. So that's just kind of where my mind goes with it. I mean, I agree, North Carolina is the elite of the elite. Like, it's arguably the best job in all of college basketball. So
I agree.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, for a guy who has won an NBA championship, I'm just curious if he didn't think that he was going to get another opportunity, or one wasn't going to be good enough for him to take it.
Let's get in the NBA playoffs. I'm ready for the NBA playoffs. Which, by the way, just to be clear, once again, just like last year, the NBA playoffs are incredible. They're incredible.
Yeah.
I think, well, I mean, they don't really have much competition, but I mean, I think the NBA and NHL right now are just outshining baseball by a million miles. Both of them have been just the opening 10 days of both have been just out of this world.
Scoot Henderson came off the couch and dropped 31 and beat the Spurs. Now, granted, Wemby got concussed, but like, what do we talk? Scoot Henderson, former number 2 pick, played like a total of 17 games as a pro, came off the couch and won a playoff game. Like, what the fuck? Like, incredible. The New York Knicks blow a 14-point fourth quarter lead to lose to the Atlanta Hawks. Like, incredible. Great basketball all around. And how about the 76ers? Without Joel Embiid, go into Boston, VJ Edgecombe goes nuts, and then down the stretch, Maxey says in the huddle, I got this.
I can't stress this enough, and I don't care what it takes.
I already know what you're about to say.
They have to do everything in their power to get him off that fucking roster in the offseason. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. They do not play better without Joel, John. Stop it. They do not.
It's not about that. It's not about that. You just have two young kids that love playing with each other, that get it. Maxey is an absolute superstar. He needs to be the face of the team. The distraction needs to go away. I don't care what it takes. I don't care. He has to go.
Funny thing is, Paul George plays really well off them. I'm not like,
yeah,
he actually played really well recently. I'm not saying the Sixers win the series. They're not going to win the series. Boston's the best team in the East. There's no doubt about it. With that being said, it's a fun series. Go back to Philadelphia, maybe split there.
G's gonna try to get me hooked in this. I'm not doing it.
I will say though,
to do this.
I will say though, and I am one that picked Boston to go to the finals, and I will still stand by that. But this Boston team isn't the same Boston team that they had, 2-3 years ago, like when they had the Drew Holidays, like throwing them out there. Like, granted, a lot of the pieces are the same there, but like there are more ways to exploit this team as currently constructed, especially with Tatum coming off of his injury, because he's still not back to all NBA level, which is expected. Like, of course, he's not going to be back to that yet. So, I don't think it's a full foregone conclusion that Boston will make it all the way there. So I think the more you can drag this series out and maybe get Embiid back, like it's not like Boston
Embiid's
has
playing game 3.
these bigs that are gonna dominate down low.
It's already announced. Embiid's playing game 3. And
I mean,
by the way,
they announced it today.
Yeah, they announced it. They ramped him up for game 3. He's playing game 3.
He'll play 21 minutes.
Anything that will get me off of Adem Bona minutes is everything I need. Like Adem Bona is an athletic freak that has the worst touch of all time. He's got bricks for hands. The guy is literally just playing volleyball with the rim, and he fouls all the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused why they don't just start Drummond, but
well, they don't start Drummond because
Drummond could play 30 minutes a night, so they hope he goes out and just stays in the game for more than 7 minutes.
Drummond's not as athletic enough to be able to keep up with Keita on that pick and roll dive to the basket, and Bona is, which is why they start and then they sneak those Drummond minutes in. So like when they don't have that starting 5 in for Boston, they sneak those Drummond minutes in.
I mean,
Bona's the way more athletic defender. What?
You're not worried about Keita dives to the rim.
No. But what happens when Drummond's on the court is they can't. So Bona can switch and play on Tatum and Brown. Right. So what ends up happening is that the Boston Celtics, they run the same set to get Andre Drummond on Jaylen Brown. And it's just, you can't do that. So the reason that Adem Bona plays is because he can play on-ball defense versus Brown and Tatum. He's athletic enough to do that. Where Drummond is basically a cone.
I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I'd rather my better players play more minutes, if that makes sense. Even if that means we're kind of exploited at one area. Like maybe you stick Drummond on. I don't know who you stick Drummond on, because he's at this point in his career, he's not moving his feet how he used to. So I get that aspect of it, but I mean, as a whole, though, I think the Sixers team is interesting. Like they match up well, especially with VJ. In his second playoff game, like not being afraid of the moment, taking the shots. I mean, having 20 at half is damn impressive, and he kept it going in the second half too. So. The Celtics are going to live and die by the 3 ball. They weren't hitting the 3 ball consistently in game 2 there, so you saw the struggles there. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm still picking the Celtics obviously to win the series, and I'm still picking them to go to the finals there. But I definitely think Philly can at least make it interesting. To your point, Gene.
I mean, they were 13-50. That's not going to happen again. Like they weren't. I guarantee you, there'll not be another game in the series where the Celtics shoot 13 for 50 from 3.
Maybe not 13 of 50, but I mean, I could see, 15 of 45, which, numbers wise is better, but like they're about to be on the road for the next 2 games. Like they shot that at home.
And the Sixers shooting 50% from 3. That's not going to happen again in this series either. Just being very, very clear.
But it wasn't like you hit a bunch of tough threes, though. It was in the flow of the offense.
They ran the same set to Maxey and Edgecombe over and over. Nick Nurse outcoached 100%. And let me be clear, the Sixers thought to hit the shots, but Nick Nurse outcoached Joe Mazzulla that game. I'm not saying it will happen the rest of the series because Boston's the more talented team. They're the better team. But that game severely outcoached them. They found a set that worked. They were hitting the open 3. And it happened over and over again. And Boston's mentality of let Philadelphia sag off, defend the lane, and let them shoot threes is the right mentality to play Philadelphia. We're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. We're just not going to shoot 50% all day. Their mentality is the right mentality. But didn't work out in game 2. Now, when you have big man back, it's different because Joel commands a lot more of a presence in the paint. So that allows you to get just more around the offense. So we'll see. I think it can be a series. I don't think Philadelphia wins, though. You should be happy, by the way. Your Cleveland Cavaliers are up 2-0. I mean, obviously, you draw the easiest team in the first round. That's kind of what happens.
And I said that before it all started. I said I would be licking my chopsticks around on the first round, and that's exactly what we got.
I would pay money to get Cleveland in the second if we get past Boston.
Well, I mean, if you get past Boston, I mean, you should be confident in beating anybody.
I would love Cleveland. I think Cleveland's a walkthrough.
NBA reseeded now.
What'd you say?
NBA doesn't reseed, do they?
They do not. We would have the Pistons or the Magic in the second round.
Oh, you guys are the 4?
We are the 4.
Oh. So we wouldn't get you guys at all because you guys are going to lose in the next round.
Yeah, because the Pistons or Magic are world beaters right now.
I mean, both teams will be better than the Cavs in the playoffs.
I mean, it's easy to say that when you already got one foot in the grave.
We don't. We're 1-1.
I mean, yeah, but you clearly have no hope in them.
I don't. I think Boston's the best team in the East.
One foot in the grave.
I don't think you guys make the conference finals, so I think you lose next round. We're definitely not making the conference finals, so I get listen, depending on how long Wemby's in concussion protocol, I don't think the Spurs are in jeopardy of losing the series at all. But
how many games do they have in the next 5-6 days?
I think 2.
Portland is that place will be rocking. I still think they're a way better team, and they just gotta get a little time. Probably used to playing without them, but I'm thinking if they just go to Portland and split, I think they're fine. I mean, I think he'd be back after that.
I think regardless, San Antonio is going to be just fine. I think that they just absolutely did not know what to do down the stretch in game 2. Even after Wemby was out, like throughout all the third quarter, and then I would say the first 5-6 minutes of the fourth quarter, they looked fine. Like they literally looked perfectly fine. You had Castle, you had Harper like running the offense and doing things. Luke Cornett gave him good minutes, replacing Wemby, and then everything just kind of collapsed in on him. So like, I don't think the Spurs are truly in danger. I think the Blazers are very opportunistic, and they're in a situation where we talked about a couple weeks ago, knowing that the Blazers would even be in the playoffs. And so now you give them a slate where the Spurs don't have their best player. They're playing with house money, so why not be free? Like, if you're Scoot Henderson, why not go out there and play with a ton of confidence? Like, you take 20 shots, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're already a year ahead of schedule. So, I mean, I think the Blazers are dangerous because of that aspect of it, but even still, with what I saw after Wemby went down, I truly have no reservations about thinking about the Spurs being in serious danger, especially when you go in with a game plan of not having Wemby. Like, I think it's one thing to lose him and still be fine in the game itself, but to actually know going in, like, hey, Wemby's not going to be here, and you get a chance to put together a full game plan, I think the Spurs will be just fine. Like, maybe the Blazers get one more game here, but I don't think the Spurs are in any real danger.
Can we talk about the Lakers being up 2-0 without Luka over KD's Rockets?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, can we be really honest for a minute? Kevin Durant is a great basketball player. He's he's absolutely the worst thing that you can bring in your organization for winning. Oh, I mean, you're talking about a guy that went to Golden State and won 2 titles with Steph Curry's team with a core of Draymond, Steph, Clay, that had a culture built there. And by year 3, it was, this team, I'm going to go do it myself. Went to Brooklyn, failed like a miserable. Went to Phoenix on the 1 seed, failed miserably. And now it's going to Houston, underperforming in Houston. I just want to call it like it is. Kevin Durant might have 2 championships. He's a loser.
So I don't disagree with your premise there, but I don't think that Kevin Durant's not the reason why Houston is losing right now. And as much as I'd love to shit on KD, the reality is what we've said literally since October, November. They don't have a point guard. Like Kevin Durant had 9 or 10 turnovers in game 2, but that's because they're asking him to run their offense. Kevin Durant is not a guy to run your offense, and we saw that his last year in Phoenix. Like Phoenix didn't have a point guard. They threw out Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and KD and said, "Hey, you guys are great players. Figure out how to make it work." And essentially, Houston is doing the exact same thing right now. You put the ball in Kevin Durant's hands, and he's an excellent scorer, one of the best ever as far as scoring. But he is not a playmaker. He's not the guy to set up other guys and get them involved in the offense. And to JJ Redick's credit, they're doing an excellent job of when they see him, depending on what position he's in, they just blitz him. So you throw the double really fast, and then you rotate to the guy who you think would be the most likely target, and it puts Kevin Durant in a bind, and you get easy turnovers off of it. So I don't, again, that's Kevin Durant can improve as far as being a playmaker. I'll put that on him, but I think this is just Houston being shot from the beginning. And I was the guy who I picked Houston to win this series because AR was out, Luka was out. Like I picked Houston. I think I said Houston in 5 or 6 last week on the show.
Still win this series.
I don't see it. I don't see it. They should, but I don't see it.
I don't know. So can you help me understand something? Because I've watched enough Houston Rockets basketball to understand this. I would now you're 2 games in, you're down 2-0. I would just start Reed Shepherd and be like, you're running point, and I don't care how bad you are. You're running fucking point. Because when
Guess
Reed
how many minutes he played in game 2, though, Gene?
He played terrible in game 2. He played 11 minutes, though.
That's what I'm saying. 10 minutes.
I just don't understand it. You're starting Luke Kennard. Like, that's not not Luke Kennard. Jesus Christ. Josh Okogie. Like, what are we doing at that point? Like, Amen Thompson led the team in assists, and Katie had 9 turnovers.
And I think this is a situation, and LeBron's been great. Give him a ton of credit. Luke Kennard's been great. Marcus Smart shot incredible in game 2. But this is, for me, all JJ Redick just out coaching Ime Udoka. Like, Ime just has not been able to figure it out.
I don't know if he's out coaching. I don't think
he's absolutely out coaching Ime Udoka, without a doubt.
Like, okay, sure. You don't have a point guard and you don't have a facilitator, and you've probably told the organization 14 times, I need a point guard, I need a facilitator, and they don't get you one. Like, you're
Gene, they're down 2-0 right now to a team that they absolutely should not be losing to. They are getting outcoached without a doubt. Sengun has had absolutely nothing in the paint because the Lakers are doing an absolutely excellent job of double teaming him and letting him shoot open jumpers. KD he was getting to a spot in the first half. I think he had 20 in the first half. He had 3 the second half. You know why? Because they blitzed him, and Ime had no answer for it. There was no rebuttal to the blitz.
Ime to tell KD who to throw the ball to. He's like 50 years old. He should know where to throw the ball.
You're right. I'm not saying the turnovers are on Ime. What I'm saying is that you have to know, like, JJ Redick, you think that he's out there like Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard just doesn't walk in and start scoring 25 a game without a plan in place. Like, JJ Redick has obviously made it an important thing for them to get him involved in the offense and set him up for as much success as possible. Same thing with Marcus Smart. So, like, I think JJ Redick, and to me at least, it looks like it's more of a next man up mentality for the Lakers. And with Ime Udoka and the Rockets, it's more of a, hey, you're our guys, figure out how to make it work.
All right, we got to move to trivia, and then we got to do our NFL mock draft. Let's roll. Our mock draft's going to take a long time, so we got to move. Hopefully this is an easy question. We can just blaze through it. We go to NASCAR.
Wish. Nope. I kept it somewhat easy for you fellas, and obviously in lieu of getting ready to start our mock draft. Our trivia question for this week is going to be the top 10 colleges with the most overall number 1 picks in NFL draft history.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting. Gene, you are first, my friend.
Well, I don't know. Dude, this is not a question. I know 3 quarterbacks that were number 1 out of Oklahoma, so I'll just say Oklahoma. Hopefully they're in the top 10.
They are.
Oklahoma is number 4.
And I'm going to go a similar route to you. I'm going to go with USC.
USC is number 1.
Man, when in doubt, go to Alabama.
Alabama is not in the top 10.
I think Bryce is the only one, like from my memory. I'm gonna go. I know of a place that's had 2 off the top of my head. So we'll throw them out there. I'll go with LSU.
LSU is
It's on the list then.
7th.
I'll go to Ohio State.
Ohio State is number 9.
All right, let's think of other number 1 picks here. Who breeds it? Gene, I'm upset how fast you've kind of been going through these.
I don't know. So I'm just going to go with like big colleges. That's all I'm going to do.
I'm going to go with Georgia.
Georgia is number 2.
I'm going to go with Texas.
They were the other one I was thinking about.
Texas is number 10.
Oh, let's go.
I couldn't even think of anyone that went number 1 from Texas. That's kind of wild.
3-3.
I am going to go with, let's go back through the years. I will go with Auburn.
Auburn is number 5.
I think Notre Dame has a few early in their career. So I'll go with Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is number 3.
I think I got a sneaky one here. I'm going to go with Florida State.
I like that, actually.
Florida State is not on the list. We're tied at 4, gentlemen.
They got
I'll go with Michigan.
Michigan is not on the list.
I'm shocked you would pick a list that had Ohio State and not Michigan.
Just for you.
Just pick Michigan.
They had. I know another school has got at least 2. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M.
Texas A&M is not on the list.
All right. So
I know a school that has 2. I don't know if they'll be on the list, but I know that they have 2 big quarterbacks that went there. Give me the Cardinal, Stanford.
Stanford is number 6 and the hardest one on the list, in my opinion.
Really? Luck?
Who's the other one? Oh,
People don't remember that. Yeah, but can you? Give me the other 2.
I don't know the other 2. There's 4.
There's 4.
I just know 2. He said 2. I said 2.
You need 3 to get on the list.
Okay, well that's probably me. Just
Jim Plunkett and Bobby Garrett are the other 2.
I would never got that.
Cottrell needs number 8 to stay alive.
Number 8.
Gene wins it. I actually hope this goes to a tiebreaker because I have a good tiebreaker. It's gonna stay here.
Why are we not doing the mock draft, Liz? That would hurt me. I love Liz, but I don't agree with that.
I think I got maybe another one. Miami.
Miami is number 8.
Let's go, man.
5-5.
5-5. So here we're gonna go. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 schools with 2 guys that are drafted number 1. Whoever picks the school with the most recent number 1 draft pick will win.
Oh, okay. I get to go first?
That would be how that works.
Okay, well, that's kind of cheating, isn't it?
Why you say that?
Because it's Florida State, Jameis Winston, and they have 2.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
It would not be Florida State, because Texas A&M also has 2, and Myles Garrett got drafted after Jameis. I'll go with Texas A&M.
Nope.
On both?
No, Gene wins.
Is there an explanation? I just wouldn't.
Actually, wait. No, because they're not on here either. Neither one of you win.
Okay, I'll go Alabama. They have to have 2.
Who went 1 overall last year?
I don't know about that. Don't think about that too hard.
It was Caleb, and then the following year it was who? Cam Ward at Miami. Okay, so we already got Miami out the way. Okay.
Bryce Young.
That's Bryce Young.
Does Bama really only have 1? Am I screwed? Is that like the wrong answer?
Georgia.
I can't say anything.
Well, you can, because Bryce Young would be the newest and I would win, or he wouldn't be, or they wouldn't be on the list.
True.
You can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay. So you can't win.
You said You said them earlier. That's what I thought you were going to pick last time. Florida State.
I don't know why Florida State just running my mind because Jameis. I was going through number 1 picks.
The only one they have is Jameis.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Texas A&M only has 1.
I swore they had like a lineman that went 1, like an O line.
Myles Garrett, 17 is the only one. So yeah, Gene wins because Bryce Young in 2023 is the most recent of the 2. Alabama has 2. Cal has 2. Michigan has 2. Nebraska has 2. Penn State has 2. South Carolina has 2.
They haven't had 1 forever.
What?
I knew Penn State had 2, but they haven't had 1 forever.
Yeah. Can you name them?
Yeah, it was who went 1? I think it was LeVar Arrington that went 1, and then Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown's one of them. It's not LeVar though.
So Courtney went 1, LeVar went 2.
Yeah,
they went 1, 2 in the draft. I just didn't know who went 1.
Yeah.
And then the other one wasn't Kerry Collins, right? He didn't go 1.
God damn it, he went
that
2.
team though. I think. Yeah.
I was thinking about Luke Jokel. He went 2 overall, not 1.
Running back, easy.
Is it Kajana?
Yeah.
I didn't know Kajana went 1.
He did. To the Bengals,
You said running back. I'm like, yeah, well, I knew it wasn't Saquon.
Luke fucking Jokel.
Why doesn't Liz like the mock draft? I'm still stuck on it. Liz, I love you. Why do you not like the mock draft?
She thinks as a viewer, she thinks it gets boring. She thinks it gets.
She's not wrong.
It slows down.
It does. She's not wrong, but I still like doing it. And our podcast audience very much likes it. Not the live audience. We lose live listeners all the time, but we get podcast comments on it all the time. People that watch the next day.
Yeah.
And they can speed up to the dun, 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 dun. Also, I don't like whatever. You gonna keep playing it to fuck with me?
Yep.
Fuck off.
Well, anything else NBA playoffs before we go?
Let's go, mock draft, baby. I'm doing Topps Chrome football tonight, baby. So
are you really?
Sports, yeah, damn right. I got 2 blasters and a hanger And then I have a couple extra goodies.
You're ripping all of them?
Yeah, why not? Fuck.
Damn. Have you pulled anything nutty yet?
Out of Topps Chrome?
Yeah.
Jackson Dart Hollow, numbered to 100.
I think you showed me that.
No, I didn't. It just pulled it last night.
No.
It like the last sale of it was like $500, which is super overpriced. It shouldn't be $500.
No,
it's just because it's so rare.
Yeah.
I think Travis pulled it actually.
Travis thought I pulled some Curry card last night or something.
Oh yeah, he got a gold bag. He got a Gem Mint 10 Curry.
Yeah.
He's right. He did well. I mean, dude, our bag shows are nuts. We give away a ton of shit. We gave away a Kobe rookie last night. A Bijan Aqua Lava Refractor Gem Mint 10 out of fucking like college. Bowman first.
Actually, maybe that's the one you showed me.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's get into our mock draft. What are we using for our like list?
What do you mean?
The mock
Put it on the
draft.
screen. The big board.
Oh, I got you. I got you. We'll take that away. We'll go ahead and share this.
Why are you turning off the internet at 9 sharp? Liz, what's going on? I love me some Liz.
There we go.
All right. So I think that Dum Dum is going to make a dumb moot pick at 1, so it's going to screw the whole draft up. But Shally gets to go 1. I'm going 2, and Cottrell's 3.
I'm glad he wasn't referring to me as Dum Dum.
Well,
Fine.
Bill, Raiders are on the clock.
All right. Raiders are going to send the card in. We're ready to go. After much deliberation and much thought, a lot of going back and forth in the war room, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to select number 1 overall, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback from Indiana.
oh, bro, you talked such a big game.
You know what, dude? Here's no BS. No BS. No BS. My intentions when I said it earlier were completely true. There was nothing that made enough sense to really like throw the wrench at number 1 from the get-go for me.
The Raiders, if they weren't going to take Mendoza 1, should trade back, and because we don't do trades.
I get it, but we can't trade. If we could trade, I would have traded with one of you. And we could have like then had anarchy and it'd been fun. But we don't do trades because it gets too complicated.
The Jets now rush to the podium, and we're ready.
You ready?
Yeah, damn right. With the 2nd overall pick, the defensive backs coach that had no interceptions last year takes the best player in the draft by far in Caleb Downs out of the Ohio State University.
Don't rely on me to mess up the draft.
I told you, I asked you guys earlier, and for those listening at home, we are drafting as if we are the team and we're the GMs. This will not be what happens tomorrow night.
Facts. And
it is the Jets.
With that said,
smart to make that trade, that pick. Caleb Downs is, guys. If you knew you were drafting Ed Reed before the draft, you would draft Ed Reed. Am I right? This guy's the best player in the draft.
I agree, best player in the draft for sure.
I'm not saying he's Ed Reed, but my point being is, I think he could be a top 5 safety in the history of football. I comped so many safeties ever, and I thought Kyle Hamilton was the best safety I ever comped until I watched Caleb Downs. He's better.
I think Caleb Downs is going to be a better overall safety than Ed Reed.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a take right there. Bill, that might be your hottest take of our the history of the show.
100%.
All right. Well,
yo, we need to clip that. I think Caleb Downs is going to be a better overall safety.
I said could.
Oh, okay.
No, it sounded definitive.
I didn't hear that.
See, you guys heard. You heard something that I didn't say. I said could.
Nah, that sounded definitive. I liked it before how we heard it. We got to clip this part out, Gene. We'll make sure we take care of that in post. But with that said, Cardinals have made their way to the podium here as well. And they're going to keep the Buckeye party rolling. We got Arvell Reese making his way to Arizona and taking, in my opinion, best player on the board outside of Caleb Downs there.
This is another bullshit pick. You guys are both clowns. Both of you guys are clowns. Go paint your face off camera. Why? Said in text message, I have it, that he thinks that Arvell Reese the second best edge in this draft behind Ruben Bain Jr. Then he just said on camera that the best player remaining was Arvell Reese. You did that for your Ohio State brethren, and you're a pussy for that.
Clip it.
You done?
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you don't know I'm having fun, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a great time.
It's understood. Are you done?
Bill, you're back up.
I'm back up. I'm representing the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, you better not do wrong.
I'm going to have fun making this pick because I think he's the best, could be the best offensive player in the draft. I'm going to get my second-year quarterback, another weapon, and best overall, like I said, I think, offensive player in the draft. So the Tennessee Titans at number 4 are going to select Mr. Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame.
I'm just going to continue on the Ohio State party. I'm ready for my number 5 pick as the New York Giants. They're going to take all-world linebacker, which they absolutely need in Sonny Styles. The speed, the versatility, it's going to be able to go sideline to sideline. Sonny Styles is the pick for the Giants, and it's scary because that's who I think they're going to pick.
And Cleveland Browns are now on the clock, and we are sprinting to the podium to make this pick. You have multiple positions of need there, but regardless, you need a wide receiver 1 and best receiver on the board, in my opinion. Best receiver in the draft is here, and we're going to keep the run on Buckeyes going. We're selecting Carnell Tate to come in and shore up the receiver 1 spot. Bill, back to you.
Oh, man. Well, now I have some decisions to make because the Washington Commanders are hoping Caleb Downs is going to be here before Gene picked him second. Well, one of the other positions in need, wide receiver 1, in Cottrell's opinion, just went off the board. All right. Commanders ready to go. Give me the bell. Washington Commanders are going to show up their outside weapons again. Keep Jaden Daniels happy. Rebuilding the wide receiver core a little bit this year. We're going to go with Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver out of USC.
Guys, I don't know if it could be any easier for me to pick in this draft. You guys make it easy for me every pick. The New Orleans Saints are on the clock, and I know exactly where we're going. The best edge rusher in this draft. It is not even that close. Give me Ruben Bain Jr. Watch the Natty. Watch this kid play in the college football playoff. I'll take Ruben Bain Jr.
All right. Then at number 9, got the Kansas City Chiefs here. And we got a pick, and it's ready to come in.
Easy pick. I know exactly where you're going, and if you don't,
it's going to piss me off.
And this pick is so easy. You just lost Trent McDuffie, and the best corner in the class is still on the board here at 9. You bring him in, and you shore up one side of the field, and that's Mansour Delane out of LSU.
Incorrect pick.
it 100% the right pick.
Wrong pick.
Well, if you know what I know, you know it's the right pick.
Who'd you pick?
Mansour Delane.
Best corner in the draft. He's right, but
take him over the number 6 edge. But
well, if I'm the Giants, then the fact that this guy fell to 10, I'm probably going to run to the podium as well. With the 10th pick, the Giants are going to shore up their offensive line, and they are going to take offensive tackle out of Miami, Mr. Francis Mueha.
Listen, I thought that was the pick for the Chiefs. I'll say this, right? I don't care.
That's who I thought he was going to pick.
With the 11th pick, the Miami Dolphins have a lot to work on. But something that they've been bad at for the last few years is protecting the quarterback. And with Francis Maago going number 10, the run on offensive linemen start number 11 too. So with the number 11th overall pick, Miami Dolphins take probably the most capable, versatile lineman in the draft, Spencer Fanu out of Utah.
all right, you guys are making it easy. I think if the Dallas Cowboys are, in this position, they're looking at their board and they're like, we were potentially thinking about moving into the top 5 to take this guy. And he's still here at pick 12. That's exactly where we're going to go. David Bailey, make your way over to the Dallas Cowboys and join us and add on to the defense that we are desperately trying to rebuild here.
Interesting.
It's on you, Bill.
All right, Rams are ready. I think the Rams are going to stay offense as well. We're going to take a wide receiver. And we are going to take Mr. Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State.
Guys, super easy pick for me. Thank you very much. The Baltimore Ravens just lost this position in free agency, and it's a perfect fit for a fast quarterback that in an offense that's going to be able to. We're going to hype up our offense a little bit more. So with the number 14th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select. I don't know. Runs a 4.3 40. Give me Kenyon Sadiq at the tight end position.
That is not where I thought you were going. That is crazy. Okay, I like it. No. I just didn't think you're going tight end there.
I don't listen. I think that's a position of need for them, and I think that Sadiq fits very well what that offense is going to do. They want to run 2 tight end sets with their running game with Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews on the field, and then you have Kenyon Sadiq, who could be that second tight end. He's obviously going to be a receiving threat, and he also adds to your receiving core where you have Zay Flowers on the outside and Kenyon Sadiq on the inside.
All right, well, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the pick is in. We actually wanted to take Kenyon Sadiq here, but we will just look at the board and say, hey, let's take the best guard available, and that is going to be Vega Owani out of Penn State.
Well, the Jets have a lot of needs here, Jim. They're on the clock again at number 15. 16.
They could take anywhere. You got to think they're going best player available here because there isn't one sure spot on the team besides safety.
The entire roster needs to be reloaded.
Just throw a dart at the board.
You can't really miss.
Can't miss. All right, we're ready.
Player off the board would be Thieneman. You took downs earlier. You'd think, right?
The 16th pick, the Jets are going to go offense after being extremely excited about getting the best defensive player in the draft at number 2, thanks to assistant manager Gene. We are going to go and get Mr. Garrett Wilson, a running mate, and we are going to go with Mr. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver at Indiana.
Bastard. You son of a bitch. It's not funny. That's what I was
All
thinking
right.
of the Eagles.
Well, we are
Right.
back.
I'm up.
We are back.
I have the lines.
Oh yeah,
Gene-
this is my bad.
Gene has been censored.
I've been prepped and I've prepared for my picks on my. He didn't even know he didn't have lines. He started the Lions. He's just shaking around, winging it tonight, Cottrell, huh?
I just thought we were on pick 18.
Now, pick 17 is up, and guys, we know what Dan Campbell's doing here, guys. We know what Dan Campbell's doing here. I'm going to follow in Dan Campbell's footsteps because this is the Detroit Lions thing to do. So, with the number 17 pick, I'm going to go with the better offensive tackle between the two that are left, and I'm going to go with Caden Proctor out of Alabama.
And that fucks me.
I'm glad that you view it the same way I do. I don't think Monroe Freeling is better than Caden Proctor. I don't know how mock drafts have him higher. Do you guys not view that the same as I do, or?
I think Monroe Freeling I think Caden Proctor is going to be the better player. The problem though is that honestly, I view Caden Proctor so similar to Mekhi Becton. So like I think he's going to go to a team, they're going to try him out at tackle. It's not going to work out, but I think if he goes to the right team, they're going to move him inside the guard, just like the Eagles did with Mekhi. And I know Jeff Stoutland's don't grow on trees there, but I think that is the move for him. With Freeling, I just think he's more of a project. Like I don't view, in my mind, I'm not taking a tackle that has to sit for a year to like understand the position and things like that. Is my first round pick there. So I'm not as high on Freeling as a lot of other people.
I'm with you.
But Minnesota Vikings are on the clock here, and position of need is right there. It's staring us dead in the face here, and we're gonna go turn the card in and be really happy about it. Harrison Smith is rolled off into the sunset, and his heir apparent and Dylan Thieneman is right here, and he's going to be making his way down to Minnesota to man the middle there of that Vikings defense.
Boop, boop, boop. All right, I'm ready. The 19th pick, the Carolina Panthers, who've literally had their first 2 picks thrown off the board by Gene. Ready to go with another guy, another lineman. Could play outside. Like Cottrell said, might project more to a really good guard in the NFL. I'm going to go Mr. Spencer Fanu's teammate, Mr. Caleb Luno, offensive tackle from Utah.
The Dallas Cowboys are going to select kicker. I'm kidding. So I'm going to make the pick as if I was the Dallas Cowboys GM. I'm ready.
They just extended him, actually.
I think that this is an easy pick for Dallas. You have and listen, there's elite corners in the NFL. There's elite corners in this draft. Jermod McCoy is an elite corner. The Dallas Cowboys are going to go get themselves an elite corner and get Jermod McCoy.
Risky pick.
Why is it risky?
the injury concerns. I mean, they're already talking about that he might not play at all for 2026. And I mean, I'm with you. I do think that he's elite, but I just you have multiple knee injuries or a knee injury that keeps you out for 2 years. I would have my concerns. But he's the elite though. If he was not hurt, he would have been probably a top 10 pick. So you roll the dice there if you're Dallas. And I got the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and we are going to go ahead and turn in the pick here. And with the uncertainty at the quarterback position, we're going to take a flyer on a guy. We got Ty Simpson being the second quarterback taken in this draft here. And, we're going to forget about, the saga of Aaron Rodgers. If he wants to come back for one more year, great. But if not, we still got our guy in Ty Simpson, who is going to be our quarterback of the future and can learn a lot from sitting 1 year under Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Los Angeles Chargers, I'm ready to go. Los Angeles Chargers, number 22. We're going to take Keldrick Falk, edge out of Auburn. A little bit of a project, but a lot of explosiveness. Has a lot of tools we like. We're going to polish him up a little bit. A lot of raw ability. Keep that defense fast.
A lot of Eagles fans are going to be really annoyed with me with this pick, but it's an absolute Eagles pick. And it's the absolutely thing that Howie Roseman's going to do. And I understand it, and it makes sense, and it's long-term thinking. So the Philadelphia Eagles are ready.
Long-term storytelling.
You're not lying. You're not lying. With the Philadelphia Eagles currently in a situation where they have two great bookend tackles, they're in a situation to where they need to draft Lane Johnson's replacement. There's a guy that has first-round talent written all over him, but needs to sit a year and develop. Now, I'd felt a lot better about this pick if he was entering into Stoutland University, but he's not. But the perfect landing spot for the Georgia Eagles, for Monroe Freeling, is the Philadelphia Eagles to be Lane Johnson's replacement.
All right. Well, that puts the Browns back on the clock here. And at this point, I was kind of hoping that Freeland was still on the board there, but we got a backup plan, and we're ready to rock and roll here. We absolutely still have to address the offensive line, but we're going to go to a guy who we think has a ton of potential and had a really good showing after, doing his postseason workouts from the Senior Bowl to the Combine. And that's going to be Max Ahanicher out of Arizona State. Back over to you, Bill.
For the Bears, I'm ready. Chicago Bears are the 25th overall pick. We're going to shore up our defensive line, get some young talent in there, help out that linebacking core and secondary that are already pretty solid. We're going to take Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson.
I don't know how. I've really had a plan in this draft to shake it up and take players in different spots, and then everything has just fell into my lap. And I felt like I've just absolutely destroyed this draft for every one of the teams I picked for. And this pick is no different. The Buffalo Bills will be elated to walk to the screen and make a replacement pick for Keon Coleman with a guy that should not be here in KC Concepcion, wide receiver, going to the Buffalo Bills.
That's my guy. That's my sleeper for this draft. If he goes to Josh Allen, that'll help my prediction.
KC with DJ. I mean, that'll be interesting for sure. All right. So we got the San Francisco 49ers on the clock here, and we are looking at the board here, and I think you would kind of want to potentially replace Trent Williams, especially with him getting up there in age and the contract disputes and things like that. But with the way the board fell to us, like I just don't think we have any more left tackles or just guys that are worthy of the 27th overall pick here at the left tackle position. So with that being said, the pick is in. And we're going to go over to the other side of the ball, and we're going to go on defense, and we're going to get the best safety remaining on the board here in Emmanuel McNeil Warren, a guy that can absolutely come down and make plays in the box there. He can cover and get interceptions there as well. And he's just a physical force there that's going to add a ton of versatility there to our defense.
All right, I am ready to go.
Look at you, bro. Proud of you.
Number 28, Houston Texans. DeMeco Ryans loves his defense. I think he's going to add another guy that could possibly start on the line, continue to give Will Anderson and all those guys help. I am going to go with Caden McDonald, defensive tackle out of Ohio State.
I mean, we said it earlier. I said it earlier. I would be lost if the Chiefs did not address their offensive line during this draft. I just don't think that right now you have an offensive lineman. Now, because Cottrell already took a cornerback, that takes Avion Terrell off the board, which is where I'd kind of go as a backup. So when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs situation, I think that it kind of falls into place is they take – all right, so hold on. I'm ready. I think Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M is the pick at the edge rush position. I think he's the best available player for what fits their needs.
Like it. With the 30th pick, let me get reminded here of who was taken for the Dolphins with their first pick.
I like that. I like that you're actually playing off the draft already.
So we got an offensive lineman with the first pick there. And if you're going to give Malik Willis any hope here, I think you have to try and get him somewhat of a weapon in this class here. So the pick is in. And we are going to go with Denzel Boston, receiver out of Washington. You got rid of Tyreek Hill. You got rid of Jalen Waddle. You got to throw the ball to somebody. And Denzel Boston still being on the board here is going to be a good option for you. He has the size. He has the speed. So see what happens there.
I cannot wait to reach on my next pick because I know the perfect pick for the Seahawks. I can't wait to reach it either. I'll be reaching. This is a mid-second round pick on anyone's board. Like, I have zero fear that Shalley takes my pick because, like, that's how much I'm going to reach down the board.
Okay.
All right. The Patriots and the cheating Mike Rabels are ready. With the 31st pick, we're going to go edge. We're going to go TJ Parker, edge out of Clemson.
Guys, the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. They're loaded. They're one of the best teams in all football. They're loaded at this says their needs. It's hilarious. I'm going to attack one of the needs, though. They lose the Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet is torn his ACL. And they've really not addressed the running back position. And you got a guy that can play a perfect combo back at the 32nd pick with Zach Charbonnet when Zach Charbonnet's healthy. Because he's already played a perfect combo back in college. So with the 32nd overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select one of the most underrated running backs in this draft because he's played behind such a good one. Give me Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame University. Did you already have that ready? You knew exactly where I was going?
I did.
Okay. All right, we got to do with the thing we do. All right, so I love this part. This part's fun to me. It's like one of the funnest parts of the whole night. Look at that.
Biased.
Maybe it's possible.
Yeah, he had a Dolphins pick in there. I saw it. Yeah.
So I actually really think I nailed my draft, if I'm being honest. But
supposed to think that.
What?
I said you're supposed to think that.
I was thrilled with what came away from my picks. I'm going to ask this question. I ask this question every year, and I think it's the most fun. Creates debate, creates arguments. Don't get offended. I don't care. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Best pick, worst pick of the first round. Can't say your pick for the best pick. And you obviously shouldn't say your pick for the worst pick.
Best pick?
Best pick, worst pick. And I honestly, I don't take this the wrong way. You can tell me like, oh, like, you know, Caleb Downs the best pick, great player. It's a second overall pick. I like when you're like, oh, wow, like you got this person at like 13 or 20 or, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to like, that's my thought process. I think you guys made great picks in the top 10. It's kind of fucking hard to miss. Throw a dart at the wall, you're going to hit a blue chip talent in the top 10.
Well, personally, one of the ones that I like is Tyson at 13 to the Rams. I mean, I think if you're able to throw out a lineup or, you know, a trio of Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, and then Jordan Tyson, if he's healthy and what we think he has the potential to be. Because, I mean, if he was fully healthy and you didn't have the questions with his medicals, I do think he would have been the receiver one here, but you just can't ignore the medicals, in my opinion. So I think at 13, they're going to a Rams team that's absolutely loaded already, and playing with the MVP quarterback. Like I think that's a good fit.
I don't agree with you, and that's okay. I'll tell you why I don't agree with you. You draft a receiver, a blue chip receiver in the first round on a team in which you have the target leader or number 2 last year, number 1 the year prior in the NFL, and then you have another blue chip receiver in Devontae Adams. While it looks great on paper, you're not allowing a blue chip receiver to develop into a number 1 receiver. And I think it's kind of a waste of a pick. I'm not saying
Devontae Adams isn't a spring chicken. He's 33 and he's had a history of injuries. So, like, I mean, I think that
they also drafted Terrence Ferguson last year, tight end, who's one of the best receiving tight ends in the draft last year. You have a lot of targets to go around, and I don't think Jordan Tyson gets as many as he should.
I'll ask you this then. Did you think Emeka going to the Buccaneers was a good move for them last year?
No, I didn't think it was. It is now.
Changed.
Yes, of course. You're asking my then and now. Yes.
Yeah.
But the problem is, did you notice one thing that I noticed? At the end of the year, when all their receivers were healthy, Emeka Ibuka didn't get play. They were playing Tej Johnson over him.
They were.
So did you really waste a first-round pick on him? We'll find out this year. I think the jury is still out.
For sure.
But for the first 10 weeks, he looked like the best wide receiver in the class. For the last 7, I don't know if it was Baker, the offense coordinator, what the situation was. Wasn't good.
He had Evans come back too.
Yeah, I know, but it's not that to me. It's more of the fact that Tej Johnson played over him. I agree with you with Mike Evans come back. It's going to take targets away. I just did not think that Tej Johnson would be ahead of him on the depth chart.
For me, I'd probably have to go number 12. I think if Bailey falls to Dallas, me as an Eagles fan, I think it's kind of a catastrophe. I think him getting is pretty much just stay home and have all that built-in comfort and just literally just go across state and go play for Dallas. I think they would be ecstatic if he falls to 12.
Okay.
And then, what's your best, Gene? Because I'll add on to my best because I also did like the pick of Price going 32 there. I think if you're the Seahawks in that position, could you take a corner to replace Woolen? Maybe. But you also have an embarrassment of riches, and so you have the luxury of being able to reach for a running back there. So while it's a reach in a sense of his big board projections, I do think that's a good pick there because I think Jadarian Price has the talent to be a top 10 running back in the league one day.
And I will double down on what I said before. I think Casey Concepcion, I said it for the last couple months. I think I really said depending on where he went would be kind of imperative. But I think he has all the skills. They sharpen up his route running a little bit, and he's going to if he ends up going to the Bills with a solidified quarterback like Josh Allen, then I think he has the chance to be a very, very, very good wide receiver there.
Appreciate the compliments, gentlemen. Let me give a few back. Can you scroll up for me on the right side, Control? Right there is perfect. So I think the Minnesota Vikings getting Dylan Thieneman to replace Harrison Smith basically at safety is a friggin' blue chip pick. Talking about a pick falling into your lap. That's like the position of need, and you're going to be able to replace him with a first-round talent immediately. Very good football player. Great pick. And then I'll take it one step further. I listen, I made the Caden Proctor pick, but I love, and this is just me being who I am, I love the Peter Woods pick going to the Chicago Bears. I think he's a monster, and I think he's going to be huge for that Chicago. He'd be huge for that Chicago Bears team. So the Peter Woods pick, I think is great, and then the Dylan Thieneman, I think are both awesome picks.
Now we got to go to the flip side. Worst pick.
Damn right. To me, it's super easy. I'm not here to shit on anybody. Ty Simpson's not a first-round quarterback. I don't think the Steelers should draft him first. The last time that they took a quarterback in that, I don't really know where I'm at range, was Kenny Pickett. We've seen how much that worked out for them. I also don't think that Aaron Rodgers is the right guy for anybody to play behind for a year. Also, they just drafted Will Howard, who apparently Pittsburgh's super high on. So I don't like that pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Ty Simpson. I think that's the worst pick of the first round. But if I took that out, because I want to talk a little bit more shit, not just what I want to do, I think, and I don't want to go this high. I don't. But you just invested in $20 million a year into Josh Sweat. For you to go with the number 3 overall pick and take Arvell Reese, I think it's a mistake. I just don't like the pick at all. As a whole, I think Arizona's got a ton of holes, and I don't really know what direction they can go in. But if I'm going to take a guy, I'm going to take a guy that's a better run defender, and I want to get Reuben Bain Jr.
What? For me, Ty, the Simpson one's just tough because it's I think Gene kind of hit it on the head from my train of thought anyway. I don't know if he's ever the guy, so why waste the pick at 21 when you could probably at least just pick something else that helps you somewhere else. And if you are bringing Aaron Rodgers back, I do agree with Gene. I don't think that's the guy you want him sitting behind for a year. I would sit tight with Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard and see where you land next year in a very what should be a very heavy quarterback draft and see if you can get a guy there. I just don't think I'm picking him 21. I don't know if I move back in later or try to move up in round 2 to get him, but I don't want to be overly critical of that. I think Pittsburgh just really has to make a decision what they want to do at that position. Other than my pick at 1, Ticket Mendoza, that's the only one I really don't like. I don't think anything else is wild.
All right. Well, if you don't want to say anything, then I'll say it. I got 2 that I didn't necessarily love here. One of them being Baltimore Ravens taking Sadiq at 14 there. I think when you lose Tyler Lindenbaum on an offensive line that was already struggling last year, and best guard on the board, and with a couple tackles as well that are very capable of being starters are still there too. I think it's a mistake to be bringing in a guy who is essentially going to be your tight end 2 right now because you just signed Mark Andrews to that little extension that you did there as well. So I think taking the tight end 2 at 14 in that spot, while I think Sadiq is prolific, I just don't know if that's the right move for them at 14. The other move I didn't necessarily love is TJ Parker at 31. Well, I think TJ is a good player and definitely is going to add, value to that Patriots team there. We know that they have a massive void of talent on offense. And I know the rumors of them getting AJ Brown right now, and
Not rumors. It's happening.
I know I know it seems like it's all a foregone conclusion at this point, but I would have liked to see somebody on the offensive side of the ball get picked there because we know what the defense is capable of. We need more guys on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm gonna go on a weird thing here, and I think with what Sadiq is going to allow Baltimore to do, I think they're going to create mismatch problems with him. I really do. I think he makes life for Lamar a little bit easier, especially come playoff time. So I don't think that's a popular landing spot for him. I don't hate it though.
Okay. I told you guys the ones I hate. And it's not that I hate. It's funny. I think I really was picky with the Arvell Reese one. I don't hate the Arvell Reese one. I just think Ruben Bain is more polished and a better run defender. And if I'm Arizona, that's kind of what I want. But other than that, I think you guys did a great job drafting. And I'm going to always find one pick on either one of you guys. I'm just doing it. That's who I am.
For the record, too, with Bain, I do think Bain is the better edge rusher. I did say it over text there. And I still firmly believe that. And I think anybody who is questioning him because of his arm length is silly, just throwing his film. He has the power. He doesn't, get hemmed up by offensive linemen who are bigger than him. And he was also on the same team as Marcus Bell, who is one of the biggest offensive linemen in this class at like 6'8", 350 pounds. So he knows how to work against big offensive tackles there. But with all that said, though, I do think Arvell Reese has a higher ceiling because of his potential. I think he played, off-ball linebacker out of Ohio State, and then he kind of transitioned to edge. And when you see that, like, of course, one of the first names you think of is Micah Parsons. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to go be Micah Parsons, but I do think he has that potential just based off his skill set, him running a 4.4 at the combine, and then just all the different ways that Ohio State used him while he was there. So really that's what went into that pick there. But just from a pure edge rusher standpoint, I will double down and say I do think Ruben Bain is the best guy in the class.
Love that. Let's get into You Gotta Be Kidding Me, gentlemen. Perfect timing, by the way. But didn't do bad tonight at all.
All right, so I got one. Let me go ahead and get the story pulled up here. But this week for me, it's like a monthly occurrence at this point. We are going back to the Georgia Bulldogs here, and we are going to go with former Georgia Bulldogs receiver Zachariah Branch. He was arrested early Sunday morning in Athens, Georgia, on 2 possible misdemeanor charges. Now, don't necessarily want to get into the specifics of it. The story itself seemed kind of silly. He was standing on a public sidewalk. Essentially, it sounds like the officers were telling him to move. They were trying to investigate something, and he just wouldn't move. So again, story on the surface seems silly, but yet again, it is another instance where Georgia, or former in this case, Georgia football players do not have any inkling of, one, just accountability, but two, just they have no inkling of just following the law. Like, I don't know what's so hard about it. I don't know why you think you're above the law because you're in Athens, Georgia, and you're a guy. And I mean, the draft is right around the corner here, and you don't know how much money this could potentially cost you. It's not like Zachariah Branch is this bona fide number one overall, first round pick. He's a guy who's going to be a tweener. Could he have snuck in the first round? Maybe towards the end if the right team saw him there. But he's really going to be a guy who's most likely going to be a day two guy. And this might push him to the third round with the whole incident happening. So just not being smart and just doing dumb things this close to the draft. And of course, it being yet another Georgia Bulldog finding themselves in this situation.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
I actually don't have one this week, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have one next week. I need a little bit more time with it. I need to develop a little bit more, and then we get a really good rant next week.
You got a super low hanging fruit. Super low hanging fruit. I'll take it because I've been waiting to. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I'm going to go a little further into it now. My, you got to be kidding me this week is Triple H, TKO, and the WWE for the awful Saturday that they put on. But it goes deeper than that. And let me explain. WrestleMania is a yearly event. It's the biggest event for wrestling. It's their Super Bowl. All roads start and end at WrestleMania. New stories begin. The old stories end. The part that frustrates me the most is Saturday felt like here's 20 superstars that we need to put on a main event roster. We need to put on a WrestleMania. And let's throw them all out there for 9 minutes and 7 minutes. And I had the list of minutes for each fight. And Seth Rollins, Gunther was 14 minutes. And Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton was like 25 minutes. And like 11 of it was posturing. The rest of the superstars didn't get above 10 minutes, including an 8-woman tag match that lasted 7 minutes. Then to make the decision to keep the belt on Cody Rhodes, not turn Randy heel, but then turn Randy heel afterwards. Like to RKO Pat McAfee, the guy like, oh, I want his advice and I need him here. And then to go and punt kick Cody, it just didn't make any sense. Now, I was lucky enough to have a 2-day pass. So I seen Saturday and Sunday. So as a whole, Sunday was great. There are plenty of people that went to just night one. And if you just went to night one, you flew to Vegas, you've seen night one live, you just absolutely wasted so much money for an hour and 21 minutes of wrestling for a 4-hour show. And the crazy part was night two had almost 2 hours of wrestling for a 3.5-hour show. The WWE was told that they had to be done by 6:30 because the Las Vegas Golden Knights played that night. So they had a 30-minute less of a show, one less match, but 30 minutes more wrestling. It's an abomination. For that to be your Super Bowl, for that to be a lot of these wrestlers' main event for the year, it's an abomination what they did on Saturday. And for the ads to be longer than the wrestling matches, and yes, that's correct, 1 hour and 43 minutes worth of ads. That is atrocious. So for TKO, who's now moving WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia, for them to it's embarrassing what they've done to WWE. And it reminds me very much of, you guys ever seen The Social Network? The movie with, it reminds me so much of Mark Zuckerberg's reaction to his friend, former friend, constantly trying to monetize Facebook before it was what it was. And I tell this to anyone that's in business. It's not cool. Ads aren't cool. They're supposed to be fit in there. But now we have Slim Jim tables, and it's insane to me how much they're trying to monetize it, and then they lose business. They lose money with all these advertisers coming in because less fans show up, less people watch. WrestleMania 40 was before TKO taking over. By far the best WrestleMania in the last 15 years. So for that, Triple H, TKO, The Rock, whoever.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
So I just saw a tweet. They were expecting anywhere between 5 and 6 million new subscribers. That people were just going to sign up, watch Mania, pretty much cancel it. Not even close. 2.4 million.
Yep, kind of figured.
And especially, I mean, think about the perform. Like, think about what happened. Night one. Like, if you were kind of debating it, and you sign up for night one, and then that's the show they put out, you're like, I'm not telling anybody to sign up for this for night two. Like, granted, night two was great. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, if you saw night one, it's like, why the hell am I gonna pay?
Well, if you watched what they did with Cody and Randy, like that was my thing. I was like, there's 2 matches you can't get wrong. They got the first one wrong. So now I'm like, what's in store for Roman Punk tomorrow night? What angle are we taking with this? Like, which wasn't good. I mean, and the other thing I think about it was, not that you always want to see swerves or see people lose just for the sake of losing, but I mean, we go back to like our show last week. I think the only thing we got wrong was, I think we got one match wrong. Like, I don't think a WrestleMania should ever be that predictable.
Extremely predictable. The only match that I didn't know who was going to win the entire way was Roman Punk. I thought that they wouldn't be dumb and put the SmackDown title on Rhea, which makes no fucking sense.
Taking her off Raw's a lot, but yeah, I don't disagree.
But
I feel like we knew that was going to happen, though.
It gives you new matchups over there. Like, it does get her away from everybody she's been wrestling pretty much the last 2.5 years, and it does kind of give Liv, I would say, it gets Liv out of her shadow a little bit, and that's kind of Liv. You got to see it again. You got to see where they're going to put Charlotte, where they're going to put Alexa. Like, a lot of those are going to get split up now, and you're going to see they're going to turn back into singles people. So, I agree, but I don't hate it, I guess.
I get it. I just did, but everyone in the mother knew that Trick Williams was going to win that match. Everyone and their mother knew that that Gunther was not going to lose to Seth Rollins, even though. And if you didn't think Obafemi was going to win, then the WWE really was screwed that one up. If they had Brock win that match.
So that's the thing, though. We didn't. We talked about it last week on the show. Like, we thought like Oba had to go over, but at the same time, we were like, "What's to stop them from doing it?" To Oba. Same thing that they had Brock do to Roman. Those years back. Like,
that was one of the ones that concerned me. But I mean, they got it right. Thank God.
They did. They got it right. The Women's World Championship, giving it to Liv Morgan, makes a ton of sense. It's always better when it's on a heel because there's always that chase. I love Stephanie Vaquer too, but Liv is such a good vocal.
Yeah. Listen, I think Steph's very good. I think she's got to work. I think they got to work on her character a little bit. as much as that is kind of a weird thing to say. I think she's great in the ring now. And again, I think she'll be in the picture for a while. I think Raw is definitely going to get either Charlotte or Alexa. I would say Alexa probably, because they were trying to do her live for forever. And
they keep having her get pinned, though, bro.
What?
That's the part that frustrates. They keep having Alexa get pinned. And when you have someone get pinned over and over, they become Finn Balor. And what they've done with Finn Balor the last 2 years is a travesty. Because Finn Balor is incredible, but you can't
get argument from me, brother.
What?
Not going to get argument from me.
Like Finn Balor is like a lighter version of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, you if you're going strictly off wrestling, they are probably the top two guys in the company.
100% agree.
They can wrestle anybody. They can wrestle anybody any size, and they will make everybody look good. They get in the ring with.
And the real turning point for Finn Balor was when they had him lose to Edge as the Demon for no reason.
No reason. That was Vince. Vince. Well, you've heard the story about that, right? Vince changed that. Vince changed it in Gorilla. In Gorilla before they went out. Finn was supposed to win that match.
I mean, should have.
And Edge was like, Edge is like, I'm leaving. Like, well, like, why would I win this match? Like, and Vince was like, nah, and literally changed it 30 seconds before they went out.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No. It'll be a fun night tomorrow night.
Ready for the draft.
We'll be live streaming if you guys want to hop on anytime. We do our watch along for the whole draft. So you guys are more than welcome to hop on and talk a lot of shit.
I'm curious to see when the first big surprise is.
I think there'll be a bunch. I really think tomorrow's going to be nuts.
I always think that, and then nothing happens. Everybody's just like, oh, I'm happy with the guy I got.
Years ago, Michael Penix went 8.
I was about to say. It's not, and the thing is, with that, it's not that Michael Penix went 8. It's that Michael Penix went 8 to the Falcons that just paid Kirk Cousins $180 million.
Yeah. Terrible. Well, wish a happy birthday to my friend Keisha. Give her a happy birthday. I know she checks us out every once in a while, so happy birthday, Keeks. Her birthday is, let's say, 22nd. So her birthday is 25th. So her birthday will be before next week. But other than that, man, that's really all I got.
We gotta wish Alex Elmore a happy belated birthday. Me and Cottrell dropped the ball on that last week. His birthday was literally the day after the show.
Happy birthday, Eye Black.
And we
I was away. I was away.
I mean, you're good. You've plausible deniability. Me and Cottrell do not.
I told him, happy birthday, Alex. Can't wait to tell you why Oregon's going to have 0 after this upcoming season.
Oh, Dan Lanning leaves.
Well, if you guys are looking to do anything fun tonight, in 20 minutes or 30 minutes, tune into Wire2Wire Breaks on Whatnot, as we'll be breaking some Topps Chrome football. Huge cards.
How are you going to do it?
$9 a team. I'm going to start $9 a team. They should bid up, but we'll see. You never know.
There's potential for huge wins there.
100% huge. I mean, like all the cards are being overly sold. They're being sold for way more money than they're worth.
So everybody just wants to get them at the beginning to say they have them, and it's like you're not paying attention to what they're going to be in 3 years.
Bro, the hangers have been nuts. Hangers are bangers, bro. All right, well, that's all we got tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. I'm the NFL Genius, Gene Wolzak. That's Kent State's own, Cleveland's own College Control. Uncle Shelly, Scholastic Shelly, Mr. William Shawcross. And we are signing out.